Hello, good morning. Hello, is everyone can see my screen now through my slides? Okay. Okay. It's okay. Okay, let's start now. So thank you guys. I know we have postponed our webinar last week because of the bad weather in Hong Kong, but it's really happy to have you guys here again. So let's start out today's webinar. I'm your today's speaker, Kitty Kwok from Quantr Limited. I'm an Azure and M365 full stack developer. And today our webinar is collaborating with Powell Software and Quantr and Microsoft Hong Kong. So today our webinar's topic is how we can improve our team governance with our advanced team solutions, Powell Teams. So this is the agenda of our today webinar. First of all, we will have the introductions of webinar, and then we'll talk about what is the current market Microsoft Teams adoptions and what is the meetings life cycles. And then we'll talk about how the Power Teams solutions can help us improve our team's governance. And then we'll talk about how Quantr and Power Teams can do the integrations together. And then we will have more sharings on our Quantr backgrounds. And then last but not least is the Q&A sections. And then for how the Power Teams adoptions, we will pass to Microsoft Jenny to talk about the adoptions. Hello, Jenny.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, it's good.
Perfect. Okay, so let me quickly share my screen. Okay. All right. Okay. So yeah, let me turn it into sliding show so that you can see. All right. Yeah, so for some of you who might not know me, this is Jenny, and my role is Customer Success Product Marketing Manager. So I mainly focus on driving Teams adoption and usage. And thank you so much for your time to join our session this morning. And in my session, I would like to give you an overview of what Teams really is, and to also share some latest features that you'll be able to see in Teams, and hopefully help you to also enhance your meeting experience, as well as to also accelerate your new hybrid environment experience. So I guess with the past, I think, half year, we see that remote working has been the new normal. And as you see that the COVID situation is getting more stabilized in Hong Kong, we're seeing more people going back to office. But from our research, we are still seeing that in the future of the workplace is going to be a hybrid mode, meaning including fluid of mix of in-person and remote working. And therefore, I think I also want you to also reconsider what are the solutions that you're currently using. So as we discussed with our customer, a lot of people are using a diverse set of tools, which is really is basically one of our habits, because we need these kind of different application, right? So I see that people still using email. Some people will use some discrete video conferencing tools, and we are still leveraging need to do file sharing. Some of people also use some chat-based tools as well, like WeChat or WhatsApp, and we also will be using some different third-party applications for us to streamline our daily operation process, or to analyze some of the data. So we use a diverse set of tools, and what we're seeing in here is, with this diverse set of tools, extra time are being ways in jumping to different application to look into, find information, to share another information to others, and things could be very messy. And another thing is that we see that from IT perspective, it is very difficult to manage these different tools, and sometimes these tools are not under the IT control or managed by IT. So it could be users could force into risk of security or compliance. So in this case, Teams is actually like the thinking of the design we develop Teams is basically a one-stop shop where you can conduct all these different things that you need for collaboration or for communication into one single tool. I would say one single secure tool, and it itself is a platform as well. So you can basically include all the your existing third-party application that you are currently using. In our team store, there are over 400 application, not only Microsoft application, but also our third-party application. Common one like Workday, ServiceNow, Chronos, all these different applications that are common available for where you're using, you could also include it embedded into the Teams platform. And another piece is that you can also embed your line of business custom application that currently using to put it to integrate into Teams, so that you can have this one-stop shop. And you can also include some automation in there to like include the Powell automation to make it more easier, and also trigger some notification for you to do some quicker access or take better or faster decisions. So to give you a summary, Teams is not a Skype for Business 2.0. It is a lot more than that. Basically, it consists of chat, meeting, file sharing. You can create groups in there. You can also you can host webinar using Teams as well, with the live event with up to 10K attendees. You can use it as a instant chat, and also you can, as I mentioned, integrate some third-party application or your existing application into this platform, so that you can have a consistent platform to conduct and continue your collaboration or work of the day. So in here, I also want to mention a few things that we are seeing and learning during the COVID time. So people are saying, oh, they have like back-to-back meetings, and virtual meetings is getting less engaging and connected. So it's very difficult, especially when you're having people in a virtual setup to brainstorm or to interact. And we also hear that when people work from home, there's always distraction. So how do we avoid that? And the last piece is some people are still relying on emails for sharing documents or to work on reports, and we see that a lot of the time people are actually, it's been very difficult to leverage email standalone to do that. So how could Teams help? So I will share a little bit more on what are the new features and stuff that we are thinking along with the Teams. And in here, one of the message I want to bring in this webinar is that Teams it is unlike the discrete meeting conferencing tools that you see currently, where it only focuses on the meeting experience itself, but Teams actually support the whole meeting lifecycle. So when you consider your day-to-day meeting, you probably need to prepare the meeting, and during the meeting you discuss and you record stuff and you have some summary and follow-up, and after meeting you would probably need to reconnect with the team again to discuss the follow-up and to continue the discussion offline in chat. So how does Team help you to support this meeting lifecycle? And what we're seeing is that in meetings, people nowadays is not only talk about one topic. You have a series of meetings that maybe talk about upcoming projects. So how do teams support this consistent experience? So in here, I want to share a little bit more on how teams can do that. So here are two areas that I want to focus in today's session. One is how do we increase the human connection and engagement during these virtual meetings? And second is how do teams support your meeting lifecycle, meaning before, during, and after the meeting, and to also help you to streamline some of the complex process to save your time. to increase the human connection and engagement, the first thing that we have been including in our Teams meeting is that we have include a new feature called Together Mode. So I'm not sure whether you have seen the NBA, which is already finished, but like you can see that those fans are in the background where they are putting into the same virtual space. So basically, this is powered by Teams, and the Together mode is basically using the AI technology to convert those people who are in the meeting into a same space. So we are seeing that this is actually very helpful for some settings like you're hosting a training or brainstorming session or panel discussion. These allow people to feel like they are more closer, and you can easily see people facial expression instead of their different backgrounds, which could be quite distracting. And so you can see that with this Together mode, it could really helps to pull people together. You can see people's connection, and it's an easier way to connect with the team. And so it's quite suitable for brainstorming session, all hands, or panel discussion for say. And so this is already available, and moving forward, we will have more Together mode scenes by end of December. So you have more different background. And so I'm just gonna check on the time just to be conscious of time. Yeah. So and then the second thing is we have the new feature called Dynamic View. So Dynamic View allows you to actually through AI in meeting as well. It helps you to put together the best layout for you to easily view what's is sharing in the meeting, and also able to see who the speakers as well. And you can also personalize this view to suit your preference and needs. So this feature will be available soon in end of December, so that you can have a more personalized and more optimized view during a meeting for you to focus on the speaker as well as the content itself. And then we also have increased the meeting capacity, so that we have a new license called Advanced Communication. So with this license add-on, you can it can support up to thousands meeting attendees, and also accommodate up to 20K people meeting attendees as well in this kind of webinar experience. So that's something that due to the more popular demand on having webinar and events or like large all hands. And the fourth thing is that we have consists of the raise your hands as well. So this is basically a feature where it's already available, and it's allowed the meeting host to see who would like to share their opinion, and easier to spot out who would like to speak. And then the fifth one is that we also will incorporate live reactions, so that while people are for example, they are presenting, the attendees could also give their reactions to make it more engaging, as well as it's a good way to also celebrate some, for example, some good news or announcement, so that it can make the whole conversation or meeting more lively and engaging. And the fourth thing is that fifth thing is that we have also included the virtual breakout room in Teams, which will be available by end of October. So this is actually allowing circumstances with a large meeting group to break into different small group for brainstorming discussion, or for some of the breakout session where people can put into different groups and discuss. So this will be available soon in end of October as well. And then last but not least is during meeting, people always, they need to record a meeting as well. They need to, some people may need to do the meeting notes. But then in Teams, while we have recording, we have live captions, and now we also have live transcriptions, like transcripts. What that means is that when I talk, you're able, I think now you can also see as well. You can see who is speaking. And then I can also translate into the written format where you can easily follow through in a meeting, because in a large meeting sometimes it's quite hard to follow through everything, especially there might be different different cultural background in the meetings. So this is easier for people to follow through who is speaking. And this transcription could be also downloadable after the meeting ends together with the recording. So it could be like a meeting notes. So you can able to the meeting participant are able to download it and see who is speaking that, or who make this decision, or who talk about this, and you can easily do follow up with this transcription. So last but not least is how does Teams support your whole meeting life cycle? So in here, when you kickstart a meeting, when I do schedule a meeting in Teams, I can directly when you right-click your meeting request, there is a chat with participant. So even before the meeting, during meeting, and after the meeting, you can still chat with the same group of people. Instead of you need to send an email after the meeting to talk about the follow-ups with this different group of people, or you might need to create a WhatsApp chat to discuss that. You actually can tag to the whole group of people by right-clicking the meeting request so that you can chat with them. And you can do all your follow-ups, preparation with the chat group as well. And as I mentioned just now, there are tons of application in our Teams store. So you can pin it in your Teams group, in your chat group as well, so that, for example, your commonly used files, your commonly used website, or some application that your teams always are using for example, for project management, then you can all pin it in the Teams group or in the Teams chat group, so that your team can easily open this application instead of everyone open it one by one. And last but not least is that in the Teams, there is also you can during Teams meeting, you can also take notes. There is a button where you can insert the notes in there, so you can also take some quick notes there. You have your recording, you have your transcription there, and also you can, as I mentioned, you can also use those incorporate those third-party apps, Powell apps, and automation into the Teams, so that it can help you to streamline some process. For example, you're doing a project, you might need a planner planner app to follow up the R&R, the progress, and maybe you are in a group where you need to submit some approvals for some of the PO or whatever. You can also insert this kind of application in Teams for easier follow-up, and you can include the automation together with this application. So Power Automate and Power and this kind of application, so that it can trigger a notification to remind you in a chat bot. Saying, oh, this application has been submitted, so now you have this, you're in this status, stuff like that. So these can all be integrated in Teams, because Teams is a platform where you can integrate these kind of different tools and amazing connections. So that's it for my session. So just to recap, you can always try the Teams today. We have the free version of Teams where you can test it out. It's unlimited, but it has some limitation on the paid versions, but you can definitely try that out. We also, for those who have already been using Teams, we have our fast track free Microsoft team where they can support you on your technical and adoption journey. And we do also have a set of materials for you to help you to deploy and adopt Teams for organizations as well. So now I'll pass to Kitty to talk about how do you manage governance on Teams.
Yeah, thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Jenny, for sharing such a huge roadmap and also the new features. Maybe Jenny can mute your microphone first. I got some echo for that. So, yep. So after we know there's a lot more features that coming out from the team, but first problems that we'll think how to improve your team governance, because more information, more files and checks are flowing through the teams, more teams and channels are coming out. Is it what you can do to improve your governance? So here's come the Powell Teams. So first of all, how to control your team's role. Because when we have a self-service team creations, you can create a lot of teams, different teams for different applications or different projects, and then every teams they got their channels, etc. But with such a self-service team, your user will never check if something exists. So they will always prefer to create a new team to address their needs. For example, when I got a new project, then I would create a new project called SharePoint, HAPC. Then I got the other projects, then I would create the other teams, etc. So a huge amount of teams will be start to create. So how Powell Teams can help you to governance these teams, bro, is it provides an approval workflow features to validate and control all the team creation. Actually, what that means is every team creation must pass through the approval workflow. So the user will not keep creating different teams and it's hard to manage. So these approval workflow will help you to do that. So what is the benefits of it? Is it help you to better control and the growth of the new teams, and it reduced the number of the end-user teams, and reduced the number of those redundant teams. And then in order to make sure that you have a better quality of the team contents. And the second, the most challenging is how to control your team names. Because when you can create the teams, 3 leads on the teams, Microsoft Teams, and you won't really take care about what is the team's name. Because when you see this capture, this name is created based on the applications, and then the other teams they create based on your company name, and the other teams they created with the department, your projects, and your manager name. So it got a lot of variety format of the team's name, which means that you will have to difficult to find your teams, or you have hard to like manage your teams. So actually how Power Teams can help you to do that. It provides a naming convention features to help you to control and define the name of your team. So what it means, help you to define a set of the policy. So you need to make sure every team's got the appropriate policy name. So what is the benefits? They're easier to find the teams because they got a consistent format. And also it's easier to understand the goal of the team. For example, when you compose your team with your department name and your projects, then your manager name. So whenever people are looking at the team's name, it will like got one idea, what is the team usage and what is the purpose to create the teams. And the third one is easier to find your teams. So based on the last points, when there's the number of team per user growth, it's really difficult to navigate through the teams in the Microsoft Teams interface. As you guys have used the Microsoft Teams, you got a left panel there which lists out all the teams and all the channels from your organizations. But if you want to find a specific team, it's really hard with such a scroll up and down. So for the Power Teams, it provides the refiners to associate the text. It helps you to easier to find a team associated with the topics. For example, like your teams is associated with the department IT and with the locations Hong Kong, then you can just use the refiners on the Power Teams so it can easier to locate your teams. And also there's some features called the Add to Favorite features, which means it is a personalized features for every user. You can just click on the Add to Favorite. For example, I am from the IT department, then I browse to the IT departments like the most frequently, then I would just add the teams to my favorite. And then whenever I go to the Microsoft Teams, and I can just go to my favorite, then I can see the teams. So actually what is the benefit for that? It's really save time and it's really helped me to focus on what matters to your users. And also for the IT department, then you get a few requests for creating the team because it's not too much redundant teams there, and all the teams is really concentrates and consolidates. And also you can have a more comprehensive team organizations. You can have a really clear overview on all the teams organized. And the fourth one is it really help you to accelerate the team creation process because quite often you will need to use the same team structure, for example, like the channels, the tabs across the team. For example, you can see the captures on the right-hand side. You can see in these teams, I got a few more tabs like the KM, task tracker, and the dashboard, which the tabs that you will use among different teams. Because in Microsoft Teams, you can have your tabs like here, or you can have your different members, or you can have the channels. But if you want to clone the same set of configuration among the teams, it's a quite like hard work. I would say it's a quite hard work. So actually in the Powell Teams, it provides a role-based team templates, which can be managed by the administrator. What does that mean? If you got the templates, then you, with the defined configuration, like the 3 tabs and also the specific members. So whenever the teams that you created based on that template, it will have the same configuration. So the benefit is like the employees, you do not need to configure the same teams configurations again and again and again. And that's the templates is also leverage the Microsoft Team cloning features, including the tabs, configurations, and even if the reference team is deleted, the template is still available. So it means that you can still use the template more and again, just to reduce any replication works on the team's configurations. And also like the templates include all the governance rules. So it means that after you have just defined one set of the governance with the thing is consistent and appropriate for your organization, then you can just keep using that templates. You don't need any extra time to replicate that process anymore. So the last one is that you can help you to accelerate the employee onboarding, because as a new employee, it's really challenging to navigate into an existing teams and find important ones. And also, like some HR departments, they will need the employee to join the different teams and complete the different process when they are onboarding. So Powell Teams provides a really clear templates, and it's got the capacity so easily to promote the importance of reference teams in the company and promote teams marked as favorite by your colleagues. So it means that when you you mark as that promote teams, then your colleagues will be easy to get access to that teams. So it's really accelerates on the employee onboarding. So what is the benefit of it? It's to help you to discover more important team based on the employee activities, and also help your department to accelerate all the onboarding process. Actually, we have prepared a Powell Teams demo, which can help you to show more about what the Powell Teams looks like and what is the interface and what is the flow to using it. Okay, so actually you can see this is the landing for the Powell Teams. It is a Teams app that you can use in the Microsoft Team, how you can just add into your organizations. It's just an app that you can just add on that bar, and you click on it, just find an app. So now Powell Teams is already available in the App Store, so you can just search it and then add to your Powell Team. It's a really simple step you can just add here. So once you have entered, this is welcome Linda, so which is the login, current login user. And then you can see our different tabs. This is the My tabs, and this is the refined panels that we have just talked about, some departments. So this is all the teams that is available for you and also got the right permission for you so you can access to it. When you click on that team, you can see all the channels that have been created in their teams and what is the documents and what is the quick links. Okay, so there's a search bar, so you can use the search amount all the teams. And also you got the refiners here. This is the tags or the associated the tags that associate with different teams. When you click on it, it just can do the filtering. So it's really happy to advance your search. And this is the add to favorite. After you add to favorite, then you can see this is all your favorite teams there. So this promoted team is what I just said for the accelerate the onboarding process. When the colleagues have marked it as a promoted teams, then user can easily to access and navigate to that teams. So how we create a team based on a template. You just choose the template that is already defined by your administrator. So you can see there's a lot of different templates you can choose. So just click it and next. So this is the text values that you have associated with the templates. So it means whenever different users are going to create the teams based on that template, these are the text is compulsory for the team creator. So it must be filled in the specific value. For example, you must be defined what is the department of this team and what is the locations and what is who you want to share with. So just choose the internal. So the team name, you can see this is the naming policy. Then the Powell Teams will help you to automatically generate the appropriate policy according to your name convention law. So just add descriptions that you want, then just click next. So here's the stage that you can invite people and how to configure the members of your teams. So you can select, for example, like you want your organization teams to be private. So, okay, then you can see this is the team's owner tab. You can see this is a number. It means if you didn't set it properly, then you can't click the next. So this is the default user. Then you must select all the required owners for like the team's owners, and then also for the members. So after you have set all the required owners and members, then you can now go to next. So these requirement is help you to make sure your Microsoft Teams it's got the appropriate number of the owners and members, but not really too much or too less. So after you have done all the configurations, just do the last step, review, and is it the team name is appropriate and the descriptions, and whether the privacy law is okay, and is it got all the owners, the members, and also the text for the search and the refiners. Then if okay, then you can just click create the team. So actually after you have created the teams will not pop up in the first time because you haven't passed through the approval workflow. So how you can see what approval that is waiting for you is just click on this one. So this is the team's request. So you can see your request is in the below part. So in these sessions, you will see all the pending requests for the team creations. So you can see the template name, who the requester, and how you do the approval. Just click on the icons. So this is the approval refill. So actually, this is the panel, and this is the page that for the approver to see. So after the administrator have read all the team's informations, and to make sure the teams is really leverage the basic usage and really not redundant teams, and after you have make sure all the teams is good, then you can just click the accept. Then after you have clicked the accept, then it means like the team's creation it passed through the approval workflow. Then the teams can be created and is available for your enterprise user. So actually in the IT administrator role, how you manage all the teams, just click on the Teams Administrator Center. You can see all the teams that have been created among your organizations. And this is the basic columns that you can see how many owners and which templates that you're using. If you don't like the settings, you can just click edit. So this is the panel that how you manage all the teams. So for the other configuration, for example, like other pending approval, any expired teams, and you can also see on this center. So this is the most important part of it is how you manage the text, because this text is assigned that to your teams. So after you have assigned that to your teams, then you can use this text value to do the filtering and the searching. So how the administrators manage their team tags is just go to these sections and you will see all the values there. You can create a new tag. For example, it's like I want to get some products, and you can select the specific format of your tags. Just create it, and you can assign it to the templates and using to your teams. And also, this is the naming convention laws that you can set for it. You can see there's a list of policies. Just add a new name conventions. For example, when I want to get a team's name there with different variables, we'll say, then you can just set from here. Maybe if you want to create a new convention policy, you just get the titles. And then how you compose it. Now I want to be, the first part of my team's name is the product, the share. You can just select any text that you want. So after you have composed, it's okay. Then there's the other configuration, for example, how the automation works and how the authentications, and you can add the administrator to your team. So your IT department members can help to collaborate in the Powell Teams and help the management. Okay, so these will be the Powell Teams demo. And then I'm sure that you guys have a basic ideas on the Powell Teams has worked and how to help you to improve your governance in the teams and how to integrate with your current company policy. So in these sections, we'll talk about how Quantr, our solutions that provide from Quantr, can be integrated with the Powell Team solutions. So actually, first of all, we got a solution called a team document management system. Actually, when you're using the teams, you can share the files and folders among different teams and among different channels. So actually the most challenging is the documents of all the teams are separate in different SharePoint subsites. Because as you know, every team's got their SharePoint subsites and all the files and the folder are spreads and uploads to the specific subsites. So it means that it is quite hard to consolidate all the documents and manage it on one society level. So the solutions that provide from Quantr is a DMS that provides the capacity to easily consolidate all the resources into your existing document management system. So let's say if you got a DMS on your SharePoint, which got your current approval workflows and got your folder hierarchy, and you don't want to split it, but you want to fill your team's file sharings with your current DMS, then you can use our solutions, the Quantr DMS. So what is the benefit of it? It's help you to easier to manage your shared resource among the teams, and you can use your self-defined resources hierarchy, and also you can keep your self-defined document approval workflow. So actually, how you do the integration, because I just said in the Powell Teams, like you got the features which help you to clone all the tabs, all the apps, and all the configurations of one specific team. So you can configure all the configurations and all the app that in one template. Then after you can create, for example, like these templates includes the tabs and the app of our DMS. Then all the teams that you created from that template will have the DMS tabs. So whenever people want to share the files and want to search among your society DMS, then you can just click on the tabs and can just start your searchings and start your filtering. And also, these DMS is got a high flexibility to help you to integrate with different Microsoft Power Platform products. For example, like the Power Automate or like the Power BI, because nowadays, like workflows are built on the Power Automates, and you can have a lot of automations around your document approval, etc. After you have such defined a huge set of workflow, but you don't want to waste it, but you want to integrate with your teams, then you can use the Power Teams to integrate, to clone all the teams, you create the teams and the channels, then you can skip your approval workflows. And the second one is the team-based usage analysis dashboard. Because now Planner can be integrated in your teams and your channels, and you can assign tasks and to monitor what is the task status and mount the team. But actually, one of the challenges is really hard to visualize the team performance and activity with such a non-managed and massaged data and records. So what is the Quantr solutions that Power Teams can do the integration together is it provides an analysis dashboard to help you to visualize the team activity with a graph and list presentation. So you can see this is the cap screen of a planner and also a plain text, a plain task list. You can just monitor what is a task and what is the assignee, etc. But how we visualize it. So in the Quantr solutions, it got a kind of an API stuff. You can see a lot of graph as a dashboards that help you to visualize. Is what is the major activities among the teams? So what is the usage of the teams and how we can track our employee activities, and you can rely on these dashboard solutions that you can do this one. So in the same format, how we can integrate with the Power Teams, you can just add this app and to the specific templates. So whenever teams that you have created amount with that template, then you will get the KPIs there. Then you can just clone this app to every teams that you want. So these will be all the integrations that we can do with the Power Team. So I will pass to Peter, which is the system architect from Quantr, to talk about actually what is Quantr and what service that we provide. So Peter?
Okay, hi. Can you hear me, Kitty?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, hello, my name is Peter. I am the system architect from Quantr, and Quantr is a company based in Hong Kong. We are very specialized in SharePoint, Teams, and Power BI development. So in SharePoint, we have lots of different products. For example, the document management, the room booking, or etc. So Quantr is a very unique company in Hong Kong because in Hong Kong, most of the SI company do lots of different things, but we specialize in SharePoint and Team, so which is a very deep dive area. So in the near future, we hope we can sell our product to outside Hong Kong. So we keep training new people to join my company. So this is what Quantr do. Okay, Kitty.
Yeah. So thank you, Peter, for introducing. Actually, we got this list to see whether our SharePoint services. This is the service that we provided to our client. And also, this is the new product line that from our Quantr. So first of all, we got the KPI, which is the dashboard and the analysis dashboard that we integrate with the Power Teams, and this the KPI, and we got our repository and our document management system and our eForm. So please, if you have any inquiries and the features that you want to ask, you can just contact me. So this will be the Q&A sessions. Is there anyone that wants to ask more about our service and the Power Teams? You can feel free to raise. You can type on the chat room or just turn on your microphone. Yeah. So it's okay. I will forward the videos again because today our webinar is already recorded. So I will share the links afterward. And also, if you have any inquiries on our service, anything, they can just feel free to contact me through emails or LinkedIn, etc. And also, you can contact Jenny and Bertrand from Powell. So thank you guys for today. So hope you see you next time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.